Ba-da-bum. And we're going to start talking about Remy. How many of you have been using Remy?
Oh, I use it every day.
Oh, every day?
Every
Cool.
day. I'm always
Good.
looking something, yeah, trying to figure something out, and it's really good help.
Okay. I love it. So what do you use it for the most?
Well, it took me a couple, 3, 4 days to figure out those listing sheets and the buyer sheets. So I would just put
Mhm.
information in there and just keep on feeding it back and forth with Remy until it came out with a nice one sheet with everything I wanted on it. And it took a while. It doesn't communicate like you and I can, but it does take a while
Right.
for it to give you what you want. And it does. It just takes a little time.
Yep. Little time, little back and forth. I keep telling agents that it's like an unpaid intern, right? They're really good at getting coffee at doing one specific thing, but you have to give it more information, more specific information, because it's not intuitive yet. It will be, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, I would ask it
Hmm.
to change something and it would eliminate some of the key points I wanted in there. And it's like, I just wanted you to do this. So it's a little back and
Right.
forth, but it works.
Oh, no, but it works good and it's faster than you doing it yourself,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Who else uses Remy? And what do you
Well,
use it for?
I tried to do a CMA with it,
Yeah.
and when I punched in do a CMA on this address of this property and asked me for all this information. I just went back to the MLS and just did the CMA and entered in all the information there and printed it out and was done. So
We're just,
I don't know. I just get irritated right away that it's like if it's gonna ask me all these questions, I might as well just do it the old way and just get it done. So, but
no,
maybe that's the
right?
old person in me now that says, I don't need it because I just don't see how it's speeding anything up for me because I can enter
Hmm.
in I use on the MLS, just the CMA on the MLS and I enter in my adjustments and I can do it quicker. So I mean, I don't know.
Right. Because you've been in
So
the business for how long?
yeah.
Too
Well,
Right?
long, a long time. Long time.
Oh,
yeah.
isn't it?
So to me, it's like,
Um,
and so like I said, when they started asking me these questions, and I have to keep answering it over and over, I thought, it's just not worth my time to sit and do this. So,
right, and which is fair. So on the flip side of that, we have had agents use it for CMAs, but they just do the basic, just pull six comps, like the very beginning of your CMA, right? Just pull six comps and for this particular property, and it's worked pretty well. Now I do have a prompt that you can use that I'll show you guys, sometime today, or I'll send it to you, depending on what time we have. Where it will do an appraiser level CMA. So you tell it act as a 30-year appraiser and do an appraisal on this property. And it's significant. The information that it comes out with is really significant. Now, I did try this on my house, and I just recently built my house over the last couple years. And so it couldn't find the information for my house, right? It wasn't on the county websites. It's never sold before, so it wasn't on the MLS. And so it was not able to do a CMA on that. So it's not perfect, like Vern said. Mhm.
yeah, not like me. So I might as well
Not
do
like
it.
you. That's exactly. Oh, yeah. What else do you guys use it for?
Sometimes I use it for when I draft an email, I don't like it. So I'll just throw it in Remy and say, can you edit this for me? And it comes back more professional. And it's like, there, copy and paste it and send it.
Yep,
Works great for that.
absolutely. That's one of my favorites because I'm very particular about words, and sometimes my emails come across harsher than I mean them to be.
They
And so
really
it's
do.
they
Yeah.
thanks. Just know that that's not what's in my heart. That's just how my words sound, okay? And so I do the same thing. I'm like, can you soften this a little bit? I know what I'm doing. Can you soften this? And it does a great job, but while still making the point that you need it to make. Hmm.
Are those the
Anybody? Yep,
are
go
those
ahead.
the words you use? Soften this?
soften this. Yes, those are the words that I use.
And Remy
Hmm
knows what that means, huh?
So far,
Okay.
yeah. hmm Has anybody else used it to change around an email? Make it more professional, like Mike? Chris is nodding her head. I see Chris saying yes.
I use that polish button on mine, and then when I send it, if anybody I've worked with before gets my email, they're like, they know I didn't write that thing because there's actually periods and capital letters and paragraphs and apostrophes. I'm like, because mine's just one big sentence, and I send them out all the time, and people
Yeah.
probably, I don't know.
I was sick the day they taught punctuation in school.
Yeah. I talk into my phone and do that stuff, and it's like it's all one sentence all the way through, and I send it.
Nice. You're like, they'll figure it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're adults. Um, yeah. Has anybody used it for anything outside of real estate?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I use it a
But
lot. I was
yeah.
searching for seasonal campgrounds in the Brainerd Lakes area, so it couldn't pick out any open season, but it could give me all the resorts around. So I'd have all the names and the phone numbers and the emails to call them.
Oh,
So it's like,
Okay.
yeah, so that was kind of neat.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
I tried to use it
Um,
for sports betting to pick my who I wanted to pick to win in the NFL stuff. It was completely wrong for the week, so I quit.
yep.
We had to work on the lottery numbers that we had to work on.
Yeah.
Uh, yep. I'm fairly certain there's probably safeguards in there somewhere for those things. I will tell you with the football picks, because I do football picks, it's good at the very beginning of the season.
hmm
It's not good at the end of the season.
Well, I asked if the
Um,
Vikings were going to win the Super Bowl and said no. So I'm like, he's correct. The thing is right.
Yeah.
we all know that. hmm has anybody used the editing software within there yet? Brandon, for photo editing?
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, says Chris. Yes.
Yes, I'm loving that. Virtual staging, taking care of clutter, and yeah, it's been great.
hmm
Still
Yeah.
learning.
I
I'm
know Tom's used it too, and he loves it.
hmm It's, yeah. Now, I will tell you with the photo editing stuff, it takes a little bit. It's got to think, it's got to send out the information and get it back and whatever. So it takes a little bit. So have a little bit of patience. Um, but it does a really good job. hmm For those of you that have used it more than others, what's one trick that you've found that you could share with the group?
Set defined rules. I'm telling it not to add additional items to a listing or a picture.
hmm Yeah, that clarity piece, right? Being more specific. Yeah. And I have a great let's see. I want to do this screen. I want to show this meeting. So I had it. Do you guys see my screen? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. Okay. So I had it look at this picture and I wanted to do the golden hour sunset picture, right? And so this is what it came up with. Now, it turned on lights, right, within the house, but then it added these lights. So like Jay was talking about, you can see on the original picture there are no lights around the garage. So
There
it
should
added,
be. I don't know whose house this is, but there should be.
that's fine. There shoulda, woulda, coulda. They're not there. So I was like, yeah, it looks like you added some lights. Also, I know that that the sunset shouldn't be behind the house because this picture is facing east,
Oh,
right?
that's a good
So
kicker.
I was like, yep, here, change this. Here, I'll show you exactly what I wrote to it. I was like, hey, it looks like you added some lights that don't exist. Could you remove those but keep the golden hour? The photo is looking east, so please put the sun in the west. And it goes, yep, my apologies, I screwed up, blah, blah, blah. And it came up with this new one. So it got rid, right? Not quite as pretty as this one, for sure, but it is more true to the property. And then I was like, you know what? I really like the fact that you turned on the lights in the house. On the other one, can you do that? And I literally did this 10 minutes ago.
Hmm.
That's it. Here's another one I did.
But
Um,
it added the outdoor lights again on that last picture.
it did. And yeah, when I say 10 minutes ago, I literally was starting this meeting. So then you're right, Joy. So I would have to go back and say, hey, you added those outdoor lights again. Could you please remove those? But keep everything else. Like Jay said, right? You got to be specific. There's another one talking about Chris decluttering, right? I I forgot to upload a photo, right? I was like, could you declutter this picture? And there's no photo. Just like when you forget to send an attachment on an email. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm an idiot. But this is the original picture. Thought great. I don't want to put that on the MLS, right?
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And this is what it changed it to. How
Wowza.
nice is that? So much better.
And when the
Can you
people
go?
show up at the house, though, they're going to see that other room.
Say that again.
When people show up and show the house, then they're going to see that room.
True. They're gonna see this room. Yep.
Yeah. Like I
Yep.
just showed one in Brainerd that was a foreclosure, and I know they changed everything. It looked awesome. And I got there, and the cat pee about knocked me over when I walked in the door, and the place was
Mm.
trashed. And then
Yeah.
it's kind of it's to me it's a little frustrating because it's disappointing because it's
Hmm.
really is it are we suckering people to go look at a house and it's a dump? And then
Hmm.
what are the people you walk in with your client, you're like, oh my God. I mean, it's like I feel bad. I'm like, I wouldn't have brought you through this if I knew it would look like that.
What it
And
looked like. And that's a
yeah,
really good point, right? Do you remember years ago when the fisheye photos started coming out and hitting the
I used to
MLS,
do those.
right? And so, see, you used to do them. And so what the fisheye photos would do is a little thing you could clip onto your phone when we still took phone pictures of listings. And it would make the room look way bigger than it was. And so you would go expecting to see this beautiful room, and it was a 7 by 7 closet,
And the reason
right?
I quit doing it because everybody complained about, I mean, I had a lot of people complain about it, saying, oh, your pictures aren't what they are. And that's what I feel this is going to do. And I don't know.
You do have to be careful. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You do have to be careful about not virtually staging, moving things to the point where it disappoints people when they walk in the door. Because unless your price is super cheap, that disappointment is going to stick with those buyers, right? And will actually be a detriment to your sellers
Is that
as you're
something
doing that.
you just put in the listing for the agent remarks that this house has some rooms that are cluttered, but these are generated
Virtual,
potential?
yep. So
Yeah.
virtually staged, yep. So when you're doing these photos, you should have the system put virtually staged at the bottom of the photos. And so it's as easy as, can you add virtually staged to the photo?
Hmm.
Hmm.
And it'll do that, right? So then that takes care of the disclosure that this is virtually staged. What I would say is that these pictures in particular are fantastic to show your seller and say, Mr. and Mr. Seller, you're moving anyway. You're
Nice
going to be
twist.
packing up your stuff anyway. Here's the difference of what your house would look like packed up versus not packed up, staged versus not staged. Do you see
Mhm.
why this is so important to make sure we get the best value for your house?
And then there's something they're not so stressed out to hurry up and get this stuff all done before the first showing and everything. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's a huge difference between these two.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see if
Well,
it did it
I
right.
feel like there's a lot of people who can't picture it decluttered.
Hmm?
So it does help for those people. Like they see that picture and you're like, yes, they still have all their junk in here, but when they move, that will be gone and then it will look more like, you know.
You could
Yeah.
do this on your phone in a showing too. Like if you know like they're loving something about the house and you get that vibe, but they're just stuck on one thing and you know that it could be changed, you could pull Remy up. You could text him a photo and just
Hmm.
text him this photo and say, "Hey, could you declutter this room? Could you clean it up for me? Could you paint it pink?" Like whatever you could do. And that could be a really neat way to bring some value as you're standing right there and help people get over that hurdle. Because the faster you can get over the objections, um, the easier it is, right? And I'm not talking about steering your client to buy something that they shouldn't buy. That's not what I'm saying. But I think if you haven't, you will. You'll get into a situation where you're with a client and you know this is the house for them. Like you just know it, right? But they're stuck on one thing. Well, how do you get over that one thing? And they just can't see. Well, what do you mean get rid of this wall? What do you mean there could be a bathroom here, right? Like some of those things. Remy could be a really cool tool, and you could just text him right from there. If you don't want to open him in the browser, you could just text him,
Hmm.
which is kind of cool. Take a photo with your phone, text him, hey, boom, pull it back up on your phone in a text, and away you go. That could be a really neat tool.
Hmm.
How
And
do
a lot of
you text him then?
Oh,
So,
well,
yeah,
go
so
ahead.
couple things. Nope, go ahead. So, I mean, I'll go ahead. Sorry, you shush over there. Um,
Oh, Keeg
so
liked that one. Wow. A little bit more than you should have, Keeks. All right.
when you set up your account within Remy, one of the first things you have to do is go to settings over here and put in your phone number.
oh,
Okay. And so once you put in your phone number, then you can text it at any point. You can also call it. So if you're in your car on the way to a showing and you want to call him and have a conversation, you can. Now, there's still that lag, right? It's not like Mike said, it's not like talking to another person. There's that lag because it's got to think and pull information and whatever.
Katie,
But you can. Yep.
how do you text it though? What do? You put in a phone number?
Yep. You put in a phone number. So now I have
Okay.
to find the phone number. So hang on.
Is
There we
there an
go.
app though for this thing too, or do you have to go to the website? I've only done it on my computer, so on my
yeah,
phone,
me
do you
too.
have an app?
There is not an app.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually what I'll
Yep.
do, Vern, is when agents are getting it set up, I'll just say, hey, save it to your desktop as an app or as a homepage icon. Droid, I think, calls it a bookmark or
Yep.
something or an alias or whatever. Okay, Chris is nodding your head. Thanks. I'm an iOS guy, right? But there's that. Otherwise, if you just open your text message, if you're authenticated, to Katie's point, right? Remy's number is
Mhm.
320 844 Oh, it's on the screen. Sorry. Thanks. Yep. Way to go. I just pulled it up on my phone.
There we
See,
go.
because there's Remy.
So save it. Save it as a contact.
That's what I did.
Yep.
He just hangs out. But yeah, it's really cool. I guess on the fly, like I've tested the theory of what were we doing? Oh, there was an extra exhaust vent at a property. It was a new HVAC, and it had the two PVCs, right? So I know it's a 90% efficient furnace, but it had the intake and the exhaust that was PVC, but there was a third one. I was like, this isn't where the sub pump goes out that side of the house. What the heck is this thing? And so I just took a photo and I texted and I said, give me some examples of what this thing might be, or help me understand this a little bit more. And it rattled off a handful of things that it could be. So I just said, I don't know what this is, but these are some options of what it could be. And it made me a little bit smarter in that situation. And now I could debug a couple things, but it was still a pretty neat tool to do. So, and I will say, Remy understands wellheads. He also helped me. This was a fun thing. I couldn't read the unique well ID number. So I took a photo and I sent it, and then it was able to basically take the photo from my phone, enhance it so that I could actually read the unique well ID number, which I was like, that was
What did
pretty
you
nifty.
put in for that when you did that? What did you say? Enhance this number?
I said, there is a unique well ID number in this photo. Find it
Hmm.
Mm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
and just let it buck.
A lot of my clients ask when we're going through a house, oh, would a king size bed fit in here? Does it know like the measurements of a king size bed and would it be able to just put one in to see what it looks like and how much room there would be?
I don't know. Let's try. Would a king size bed fit in this room? I'm just gonna take a photo of my office here. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Lower than it was last year. So
Well, like that picture you took of the decluttering thing, if you took that picture
Mhm.
and say, no, fit a king size bed in there,
yes.
I mean, would that,
Mhm.
Right. Let's see. Based on this picture.
or is that a king size bed? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, see, that's probably, I don't know either. It's a great question. I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think that's a queen. Um,
75.
let's see what he says. We'll see who gets there faster.
Sounds fun. Oh, nope. It doesn't know. It doesn't know for sure.
Hmm.
Okay.
Is that something we
Um,
can enter in somehow, Brandon? Bed sizes?
Well, so it'll know bed sizes, right? But like
Oh,
if you
okay.
just take a picture of the room, I
Hmm.
don't know on
What
the
if,
room's dimensions, right?
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What
but
if
it
you
does
put in
know
the
that.
room dimensions?
Oh, absolutely. So I could. Well, here, let's do it. Well, what if I just measure? I'm going to measure my room.
So I came along with the say about the same answer, right?
Well, here I'm going to
Difficult
use
to
my
say for
app
certain.
and say this is 9'4". Um, the room is approximately 9 feet 4 inches by.
What if you were to put in that picture that, can you add a king size bed to this photo to see what it looks like? I mean,
7'3".
that's more of a command to add it to it versus will it fit?
Oh, it just
Right?
texted me.
It did.
Saying no.
Fun fact. Did you? So it gave me the second one unprompted, which is kind of interesting. I like that.
Hmm.
So here you can see it real time. And I'm just using the Measure app on my iOS device. Again, it's not precise, but it gets you close enough in a pinch. Uh, there you go.
Be too tight.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and that's all just from the, I mean, this is just my text message, right? That's just, I mean, and that's kind of the cool thing about it is that you can just have this interaction piece. I was on the road earlier and I was doing, hey, give me a warm intro to a lead that I got or something else too. And so it was just kind of a neat little way to continue it. But so this could be kind of a unique way to handle this. Great. Now I'm just curious. I know some of you are like, is this guy actually function in that space? I do, not well, but I do, just for the record.
I'm assuming it can change the color of the room too, because many times people go,
Mhm.
God, these colors are just crappy. I wonder what it looked like with a lighter color in it, a dark or pink or something. And I suppose you could do that and then they could see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, let's go.
There
This
you
is
go.
this is for Keegs right here. We'll see if it. Oh, now she perks up. I see her. Okay. Uh,
Hot
Usually
take.
photos are always the slowest component too, because it's going out to the Nana Banana engine and it's coming back and it's always a piece. And now I probably interrupted its thought by adding another thing. So
You
sorry,
probably
Katie,
did.
you can move on. I'll show this when it comes back.
All right, perfect. Um, dun dun dun, dun. I have to reshare. All right. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so you can see I tried the same thing that Brandon did, right? And it was like, I don't know. I need the dimensions. Okay. Here's another one. So we were talking about the CMAs, right? So I said we pull 6 comparable properties for this address. And it tells you where it sourced the information from. And then it gave the information that it knows that's public information. So this is either information that's on the county website that isn't behind a login, because it can't pull any information behind a login, or it's from the MLS through third-party websites. So it can't link directly to North Star, but it can go to Zillow, to realtor.com and see all that information because it's not behind a login screen, right? And it gave me 6 comparables. And then it gave me a summary of what those comparables are. And you can see there's some outliers, right? 214, 127. But its average comp comes to 167. What's funny is this property sold for 171 just last year. That easy. So to Vern's point, one, always double check all the information that it's giving you, right? If it's referencing something specific, like I would go look these properties up on North Star. But it gave me a starting spot. Here's another one. Have you ever had to read restrictive covenants before? It's a big old book because your buyer wants to know whether or not they can have animals at the property,
Yeah.
right? So much fun. It's great. Wonderful reading material. Don't do it when you're about to go to bed because you will fall asleep. Um, so I asked it, I uploaded restrictive covenants to here. You use the little plus sign, right? To upload a picture, restrictive covenants, whatever you're doing. And I said, can you tell me if there's any restrictions for keeping animals? And the thing reads the restrictive covenants and gives me the answer. Now, I purposely did restrictive covenants on my house because I know what the rules are, right? So I wanted to test and see how accurate it was. And it sure is absolutely accurate. So when
That
you
makes
get
life
those,
life a lot easier.
a
A
lot
lot
easier.
easier.
Yep. So then I asked another question. Can you have a travel trailer? How many times do you get that question from your buyers? Especially with any place with restrictive covenants. Well, can we have a travel trailer? Can we have a camper on the property?
Oh yeah, even if it's just more than one, you can only have one trailer and that's it, either a camper, a trailer, or something. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
and a certain size limit. I mean, it's yeah,
Hmm.
What about, can you ask it, is hunting allowed?
Absolutely.
not within city limits.
Well, I know that.
Eh? I'm definitely not in city limits.
With a bow, you can be in city limits because nobody will hear it.
Yes. Um, Here's the other thing. You not only can you do this with restrictive covenants, you can do this with our contracts. You can upload a purchase agreement and say, hey, can you summarize each piece of this like I'm talking to a seller or like I'm talking to a buyer so that I can better explain what each area of this means? You can do the same thing if you get a call from a title company and like I had an issue at the beginning of my career understanding Torrens property, not abstracted property. And you can ask it, what's the difference between a Torrens property versus an abstract property? Why does a Torrens property take longer if there is a cloud on the title to fix? And it sources all that information from the World Wide Web. So this is what it came up with the answer for the is hunting allowed. Okay. It does not explicitly mention or prohibit hunting, but it did pull a land use clause out of here that said this possibly could apply. No noxious or offensive trade or activity shall be carried on upon the subject property. So it knows that there's not something specific, but it took it a step farther and was like, well, this one might doesn't talk about hunting, but hunting can be loud, so this one might be a
Maybe with
part of
a
the hunting.
silencer.
Right? Or a bow, like Ferd was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Here's another one. Uh, I asked it to tell me about Eagle Lake in Hubbard County. How many times your buyer asks you what fish are in a lake? And if you're a fisherman, you're gonna know off the top of your head, oh, well, I fish all the time and this is what it is, right? Um, I'm not a fisherman. I lay on the boat and I suntan. That's what I do. I don't fish.
But it saves a
So,
trip to the DNR site to find out about the lake too. Yeah.
But
so this is,
if you have
yep.
to verify the information to make sure it was accurate, wouldn't it be easier just to go to the DNR site originally instead of looking it up here and then double checking it at the DNR site?
You definitely could. Yeah. This information is pulled directly from Lake Finder. So it is literally copying and pasting this information because we've put in the DNR Lake Finder as a part of their web crawler, part of its knowledge base. So
Okay.
this I would definitely trust. When you're looking
Okay.
So
at comps where they're pulling from the World Wide Web, where it's not pulling directly from Northstar because it can't because of that login issue.
Mhm.
Those are things that I would just double check,
Okay.
right?
so
When you're uploading, yeah, go ahead.
you could just go ahead and do this, and then if a prospective buyer was asking, you could just go in there and do that, copy and paste that, send it to them, and then it just takes 2 minutes.
Does. Yep. Also tells me that there's invasive species that have been confirmed in this lake. That's good to know. I like this piece right here where it just gives a quick overview. Like this is all great information, right? But it gives a quick overview. So I copy and paste this,
Mhm.
right? Just send it to my buyer. There's all sorts of things. Let's see, what else did I do? You can ask it to do neighborhood insights. So all of our Chamber of Commerce websites are linked to this. So if you're looking to do a social media post about things that are happening in your area, you can ask Remy to go look. What's happening in the next 2 weeks in the Crosby area? So I did it for my property, right? And there's nothing happening in Lake George. We have like 12 people, right? But it gave me information about Lake George. Brandon, did your stuff come back yet?
It did, but not well. So I'm arguing with it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll tell you because it's kind of funny. Let's see here. Where am I? Right here, this one. Okay. So, right. So text me an image of it in hot pink, and then it gave this to me, which I thought was funny. I mean, it is a hot
Perfect.
pink office, right?
Yeah.
And I said, no, use the office. We've been working on decluttering. Text me. I did find out I have to tell it to text me a copy of the image, and then it'll send me a link to the generated thing. So just a thing. I'm going to talk to our vendor. Like this should be easier. And it goes, here's a decluttered office. I'm like, nope, that's still me in a generative headshot. And then finally gave me this one. And then I'm still arguing with it. No, this is not the image I shared. Use that one, right? So we'll see. See here.
Yeah, that's what I went back and forth on with my sheets that I wanted done. It kept on just changing stuff out of the blue.
Hmm. So, and I did just talk to, because one of the new things that they've rolled out is open house flyers, where, you have to upload your photos, your headshot, um, and it will make you an open house flyer with the information that it has. But I was running into the same thing with Mike. I would ask it to change one thing, and it would change all of it. And part of that is because this AI system is pulling from multiple different other AI systems. So when you ask it to do something, it's then going to these other AI systems, determining which one's the best for the thing it's asking it to do, and then asking that AI system to do the thing. Because different AI systems are good at different things. ChatGPT is good at text-based anything, right? Nano Banana, right? Is good for images. Like that's what it's built on. So you do. What I have found is that when you start this arguing process, it is easier to start a new chat right up here and then give it very specific based on the information that oh yeah, I should probably share.
Yep. Sorry.
Ba right, based on the information that I got from um as you were arguing with it, right? You start a new chat and you say, okay, this is exactly what I want you to do.
Yeah, I did that a couple times on those sheets I was working on because it got to the point where there's so much information inside it that to start over, you just have to change one thing and it would do it.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good catch, Mike. It's sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's just a computer, right?
It is. Yep. Yep. It is not perfect. And here's the other thing. That's everybody worries about AI replacing you. AI is not going to replace you for this reason right here. Right? What
Anyway,
other
I'll share.
things? Yeah. What other things do you guys use it for? How about listing descriptions?
I will as soon as I get a listing.
There you go. Yep. I will tell you some good practices for using Remy when you're doing listing descriptions. You should you shouldn't just say write a listing description for this property address. What I've been telling my agents forever is that you should do bullet points, right? Write a listing description for a property with these things: 2 bedroom, 1 bath, in the city limits, 1 acre, 2 car garage, extra bedroom or extra office, right? And you just bullet point.
Or
So
throw
much
the
lakeshore.
or throw
Yeah,
the feature out there that this property has that others don't, like a nice backyard with a hot tub or something like that.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Finally,
Hey, there you
There.
go.
Look at that.
notice how it took
Oh,
all of my books out of my bookshelf in the back here?
it
Clutter.
did. Yeah, it's clutter.
It left my plant
At least it's
and
green.
my fan. It is green. That plant has been with me since I went into the corporate America world, and it's died like 6 times.
Where you
Anyway,
keep feeding it coffee? Where's it gonna live?
that's fair. Anyway, so like I finally got there. It was not happy with me, and I was not happy with it, but nevertheless, we got there. So, just a fun factoid for you that again, I like the fact that it even actually painted the walls and did a really nice job. I haven't asked it to repaint anything. I don't know who brought that up, but
Mhm.
um, very, very cool. Anyway, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Ugly. Ugly.
Ugly. Ugly.
Not painting my office bright pink for those of you who are wondering.
Um, yeah. What else?
Has
What other
anybody used it
questions?
for compliance checks yet or to run over
Mhm.
PAs or counters? Okay. So one thing that you can do is I've actually used it for offer summaries just to see what it would chug out, and it's done a nice job. So I'll upload the offer and I'll say, hey, drafted email summary of this purchase agreement to send to my seller. And I'll attach the offer, upload it, away it'll go. And then I'll say, also review this for any potential compliance issues. And then it'll list them out for me. Here's the issues. Line 123 is not checked, blah, 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 blah. And then I can go through and do that double check. But it's been a really kind of a cool little time saver on that regard. So that's a super easy thing. That's just easy. I don't know. Again, I'm still going to look through the offer. I'm not telling you not to, but like if you're looking at a multiple offer, I haven't been in one, but I've wanted to. I should probably like manufacture one and give it three different purchase agreements and say these are three different offers we received. Give me a comparison summary of this multiple offer and a suggestion on which is the best one, and then just see what it says. And of course, I'm going to review it. I'm not going to just take its advice blindly, but I'd be interested to know what it would do.
How about creating letters or social media posts?
Oh, I've
Any,
used it for that.
have you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it fairly easy?
I actually created a picture for Lakeshore property. I put in a couple things. Tom helped me with that. I just put a couple points in there, and it made a nice dock with a shoreline and a little cabin. And I
Mhm.
put that on LinkedIn and Facebook to let everybody know that it's time to start looking at lake properties. And yeah, the whole thing was generated by Remy, the verbiage and the picture and everything.
Perfect. Yeah, you could do all sorts of stuff. You can also, I'm gonna show you this, but you guys can't laugh at me. So as I was working with the group that owns Remy, they have a bio prompt. So what it does is you put in this prompt, and I can send this out to you guys if you want, but you put in this prompt and it scrapes your biography from all over the internet, right? So you've got to have some kind of presence there already, but it scrapes your biography from all over the internet and then it comes up with a new one, right? And so it came up with my new one. But then also part of that is to make you into a real estate superhero. So it came up with my new bio. Okay, cool, great. And then it says, okay, now upload your headshot. And then it makes you into a real estate superhero. How great is that? It's like Mike said with creating photos, like it's great. I look at me with my cool magic key. I don't know what the magic key does, but it does something.
Katie, Remy doesn't know you well enough though, because you would never wear pink. So
You would be
you got to get
correct.
working on this.
I
But
bet
you
it
can do
could
the same.
change the color of the cape, though.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yep. But as you're thinking about doing social media posts to get that engagement, right? What's something cool that Remy can come up with for you? Yeah. Any other questions? Any other pieces that you're like, I don't know exactly how to use that? It is a fairly easy system as long as you give it the parameters that it
And
needs.
and you have patience.
And you have patience because it does take a while. You're not wrong. Yes.
I try to use it to build. I did build a billboard with it, but
Oh,
then I sent
yep.
it to Lamar and I said, "Hey, I want this as a billboard." They come back with something totally different. It's like they couldn't take it. I don't know if it's maybe, but I used like Chat GPT or whatever and did it like an iron range I wanted with a mining equipment and a bike trail, and I did all that and it made it really cool billboard. And I sent it to Lamar and he sent back something totally different. So I don't know if they maybe can't maybe upload it to be able to print that yet
Might
or
have,
something.
yeah, might have to do with copyright images, or copyright
Yeah.
things within there.
Well, it was all like cartoony though. So I mean, it was like, I mean, again, it didn't like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. It was like a cart. It looked really like kind of looked like a color cartoon in a way is what. But yeah, so it didn't work for a billboard with Lamar anyways. But I haven't
Okay.
tried. That was probably a year and a half ago, so maybe they can do something different. But I sent it to them and they sent something back and it was like, nah.
Right. You're like, no,
But
that's not what I wanted. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Okay. Do you guys have more ideas of what you're going to use Remy for now? Do you like the texting feature? Like I know I wanted to get everybody in here and using it before we really push that piece out. But the texting feature is really nice.
I haven't set it up yet, but I'll do that today and try it out.
Perfect. Yep. Just a reminder, go to your settings once you're in Remy and then make sure you put your phone number in them. That's it. Yep. Okay. Let me know if you guys have problems with Remy or it's not doing what you want it to do. It cannot create videos. Just FYI, Barb had asked about that a while ago. It cannot create videos yet. Yet. When it can create videos, we don't know yet. We don't know that answer, but not yet.
It can't create them, but could you download one to have it make it declutter, a video declutter the rooms and stuff in this video, or is it not acceptable to that language yet?
So not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So there, are multiple different AI sources that feed into this, and they do not have a good video one yet.
Okay.
But they are working with a couple different vendors to get that. So, like I said, it is coming, but it's not there yet. However, here's the other thing with Remy. Because it's AI, it continually learns and teaches itself and does all those things, right? So that's great. There have been things where the group that makes this has told me it can't do that I had it do. Right? So as it's learning, it will go past what the developers think its capabilities are. So if you're not sure if it'll work, try it.
Maybe that's what that magic key was for.
Maybe that's what it was for. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Go use Remy and then tell all your people about Remy.
I have some useless information if you want it on the AI.
Please.
I do.
Yeah, my client works for an electrical company, and he said that the kids do these AI Snapchats, and when they
Mhm.
do a Snapchat that's an AI, it uses that takes as much power as you could charge a car to go 200 miles.
Mhm.
So on the other hand, if invest in power companies now because this power is going to become an issue, just like what you guys did today, probably used up a ton of power. That's why it's taking so long too. But yeah, you imagine that if it's 200 miles to do one Snapchat, how many of those are going on in a day?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I've been playing with Claude recently as one of the new, it's just another AI tool, an LLM. And so I ended up getting a little thing coming across my feed now because the internet knows I'm in Claude. And it was talking about, there were several reports that say, you can charge $20 a month for Claude, but an average consumer, not even a prosumer, is using it costs $200 an hour for the power consumption behind it to get Claude going. And so like they're talking about the sustainability of that is just not there. So
Mhm.
one of them has to shift. And obviously I think the user subscription price is going to shift first. But then there's arguments that people are like, nah, it's a startup. They're just trying to get bought out from an IPO and all these other things. So anyway, it's a whole world that
Mhm.
we're learning in. So 200 miles, that's interesting, Vern. Appreciate that.
Mhm. Um, Another fun fact, uh, there were data centers in Iran that got bombed that affected AI's ability to do the work that it does, right? So if you saw it become slower last week and into the weekend, that's part of the reason.
It's a little concerning that, other countries are just having this AI thing, data feeding to us, telling us, I, I
We can
mean,
go down
what
lots of
is,
conspiracy theory
yeah, what is it
lines on
sending
that
over
one.
here? What is it telling you? Just like anything, is it for real or is that, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just weird that it's here in another country and they're running it out of there. It's like, what?
right. Yeah. Yeah. Super interesting. If you deep dive into AI, it's incredibly interesting. Um, and we'll see. We'll see how everything turns out. But for now, hopefully Remy can be helpful in making you guys money, as you guys use it for your business. Okay, that's all I got for you guys today. Have a wonderful day. Next
Thank
win,
you. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
Yep,
of
thank
course.
you.
Next Wednesday is the listing powerhouse panel. And so we're going to have a handful of our agents answer your listing questions. So if you have any specific questions about listings, you can always send them to me or bring them to the powerhouse panel next week. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.